everybody, this is Grace. In this video, I'm going to talk more, I'm trying to do this series on the narcissistic world, what to watch out for so we don't have such a narcissistic world. We already do to some degree. Yeah, I'll sit underneath this tree. But, I'm using like everyday examples, simplify it some. Some people, they're not at a level where they automatically know how to look at stuff. It's like when I taught at both college and university, and you don't start off teaching people, Psychology 101 or Sociology 101, the first class, by using all the terminology because you earned your degree, so you can teach, because people aren't going to get it. It's going to go over their head. And hey, when I started off being a student, anyway, so I simplify things. Okay, and here is an everyday kind of example. Like you go shopping in a store, okay, and you go up to the cashier, and something's on the ground right in front of where you stand to, do your card to pay for it, and this something looks wet, and somebody could slip on that. So you tell the cashier you got something on the floor there, and the cashier just, okay. That kind of just, whatever. They're not at all into what they're doing, the whole thing. Now, usually, what I've always seen, cashiers have paper towels or something like that behind their, by their register somewhere. Like if somebody drops something on the little wheel, they clean it off, if they need to clean off the little glass that they run stuff across. But this one, she just didn't, and she went to get something. And she came back, went to get something I needed, and she came back, and she could have gotten some paper towels while she was doing it, if if she was interested. But anyway, I finished ringing up, and there was a guy behind me he wasn't really paying attention. I never saw him look over there at that, what was on the floor. So he was kind of looking at other things, So I told her, I said, you might want to tell him about that on the floor. And yeah, like that, And whoa, and he looked at her instead of looking at me, and he looked at her like, wow, she should have told me, because he could have had a slip and fall, And she just didn't say anything, just like, So he said, yeah, somebody dropped something. But anyway, I left. She still hadn't cleaned it up. He mentioned it. I mentioned it. He mentioned it. No, she wasn't cleaning it up. So, yeah, maybe she thinks that's too beneath her to clean up something on the spill on the floor. Yeah. But now, how does that relate to this? Because how it relates is you care about other people in your world. You care about the safety. I didn't have to tell that guy behind me. And I said it so he could hear it, because she obviously wasn't going to. I care that he doesn't slip and fall, but she works there. She doesn't care. So in my little world, not being a narcissistic world is being when you do care for others. You have that compassion, that pushes you to say something. You have that empathy and develop that compassion. You have the compassion to say something so somebody doesn't get hurt. Yeah. But I don't know what world she lives in, really, or she's trying to make, or she just doesn't care, And I've run across people like that in my life, and if you actually have a conversation with them, it is that they don't care. It's not their responsibility. Yeah, that's their attitude. It's not my responsibility. It amazes me how people have thought that. But I've already mentioned in another video a long time ago, probably a year ago or so, this about not teaching this kind of thing in schools. Yeah. Okay, what I'd mentioned was before in another video was that they stopped teaching psychology and sociology, at least schools, and that I've seen everywhere here in Texas. Back in the early 2000s, maybe late 1990s. I don't know, it just surprised me, in grade school. Yeah, so they're not learning that, how to be in a social world, how to be, what's going on with other people and how to behave with other people and so on. Anyway, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. But anyway, that's enough for this video for now. If you want to subscribe to this channel, click the circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click one of the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share if you would, and I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.